Previously on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror.
Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sylvester Stallone is Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Stallone's character. Apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger has a thing for Mr. Stallone. Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to know over to Stallone when there's some Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone still trying. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh. Wow! What's up, everybody? Yo, it's me, Zankoku. I'm bringing you another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Let's get. It's freaking cold, man. Dang, it's cold. Holy cow, my nose, I feel it. Oh, it's October, the cold air is coming through. And, so here I am, another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror lives again. And tonight, after yesterday's sort of break, in a way, I have gone back to horrifying horror days of horror, and bringing you another, well, I guess you could consider it somewhat of a review. Anyways, I am going on to Volume 2 of Tales of Terror from Tokyo and all over Japan. Yes, Volume 2. A couple episodes ago, I did a Volume 1, and I thought it was pretty entertaining. Once again, to just remind you all that the Tales of Terror from Tokyo is a television show, and it features 5-minute segments of ghostly, supernatural, and so, as with all kinds of like anthology type stuff, you get some good, you get some bad, you get some weird, you get some awesome, you get some eh. So, coming up now, we've got the number 2 volume, and I have to say that compared to Volume 1, this one is kind of disappointing. It's not as good as Volume 1. I think Volume 1 had a lot more strong stories, a little bit more creepiness, a little bit more eeriness. Volume 2, if it seems weird, it seems like they are actually shorter stories than the first one. But maybe that's just me. Maybe maybe the pacing of the actual stories make it seem a lot quicker. But not as creepy, not as scary, not as memorable. However, there is one that is kind of like a two-parter. It's about a family that's in this house, and every night at the same time, the door handle would start jiggling and weird stuff happens. And they dropped a movie reference. Oh my goodness, they talked about The Legend of Hell House, and I was like, oh wow, really? You know, and they were talking about how, electromagnetic energy from human beings, and it can gather in one place, and they actually had scientists come to the house to kind of like clear it of that, a la how happens in The Legend of Hell House, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. Very nice that, one of my favorite haunted house movies gets mentioned in a short about a haunted house, so hey, great minds think alike. But overall, not as good. There are a couple good ones in here. There's a couple interesting ones, and but mainly a lot of them were kind of ho-hum. Nothing like horrible. So honestly, I'm afraid maybe that the series itself, starts off kind of like on a good note and is slowly taking a dive. I don't know. There are 2 more volumes left. Let me go get those out for you here real quick. Yes. Here we are. We've got Volume 3, Part 1. Volume 3, Part 1. And, yes. So Volume 3, Part 1, and Volume 3, Part 2. So I'm just trying to see, like 65 minutes and 100 minutes. This is actually Volume 3, Part 2 is the longest of all of them. Part 1 is 75 minutes. Part 2, Volume 2, is 90 minutes. And then we've got 65, which is, so Volume 3, Part 1 is the shortest. And then Volume 3, Part 2 is the longest. And so we will see, because I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to be doing here, is I am going to be doing the next two episodes are going to be Volume 3, Part 1, and Volume 3, Part 2. So maybe it will finish strong. Maybe Part 2 is an aberration. Maybe Part 2 is like Saw 2, where Saw 1 was awesome, Saw 2 kind of sucked, and then Saw 3 and 4 brought it back to some respectability. So anyways, you know, short and sweet, once again, television, so, you know, you don't got any real graphic violence, no real nudity, but you have some interesting things happen, and so, once again, not as good as Part 1, but Volume 2, still decent, and for what it is, something that you can put in. So if you got one of those multi-disc players, which nobody has anymore, but whatever, you know, you could start Volume 1, 2, and 3 and just have like yourself a Halloween party and have that in the background for everyone. Anyway, so there it is. This episode, super short, super sweet, and yeah, so let's get it on, let's get it on. Here we go, here we go. And the game's on, so I'm kind of watching at the out of my eye. But so we got episode 15 here, which is my review of the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. I guess Stallone should be mentioned first. But anyways, Escape Plan right there. And then we've got, here is going to be episode 17, which is Tales of Terror from Tokyo, Volume 3, Part 1. Volume 3.1, or whatever you want to call it, whatever. So, it's going to be right there. So, episode 16, in the books, in the books. Oh my goodness, we are over halfway done. 15 more episodes to go. So anyways, I'm Zankoku. You guys have a good night. You guys stay scary. And I will see you in your nightmares. Bye.